life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. New leadership for the Milwaukee School Board.
Director Zabor, having received a majority of the votes, the chair declares that you are the duly elected president for the ensuing year.
At-large board member Missy Zambor will serve as the next president of the MPS School Board of School Directors. Current board president Marva Herndon will serve as vice president. Zambor was first elected to the board in 2023. In more news regarding the Milwaukee Public School Board, there's now more legal trouble for a former board member. Aisha Carr is now accused of filing fraudulent campaign finance reports and misappropriating funds for her personal use. Prosecutors say Carr's reports contain false information regarding campaign account balances and her disbursements. Carr was previously charged with lying about living in the district she represented, while also receiving payment for her service. It's unclear when Carr will appear in court to address the latest charges. Recent comments made by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has parents of children with autism frustrated. Kennedy's comments focus on what those with autism could not do, including holding a job or playing sports. Megan Houghton is an education and training specialist with the Autism Society of South Central Wisconsin. She says those comments are not accurate.
I think quality of life is subjective, and so it was really hard for me to hear, children like mine being kind of described just by what they can't do, and it kind of felt more like they were being described as the burden that they are, and that's just really not how we live our lives.
Houghton says autism is a spectrum of differing functions and behaviors. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I was going to do that that hump day thing that the what do you call it? Anyway. I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to take my time because it is hump day. And I'm not a camel.
so I don't do that. But maybe I will. 833-212-1017 is the number. Stream and watch us on YouTube, y'all, or just go to X or go to 1017thetruth.com. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a live show. It'll actually tell you, like your phone will jump up and smack you in the head and say, hey, Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is on. You need to watch it. And you'll be like, wait, what? Because you got to watch a lot of things. Because it's Milwaukee. And there's some things that are happening in Milwaukee that are not, I'll say it, not really cool. And so I thought it was going to be a good day. I thought that until I looked at the news. And there was a story that disturbed me greatly. It bothered me because no matter what we do, we keep getting the same crap. So I have a suggestion, I think, for the first time in Milwaukee. I've never said this before, but now it's my suggestion. CBS58.com. The board overseeing MPS elected a new president last night in a process that had the major makings of a power struggle between groups who see the embattled district's problems very differently. In a 6-3 vote, the board elected Missy Zomber president over James Ferguson. Zomber had served the board for 2 years, while Ferguson was voted onto the board last fall in a special election where he ran unopposed. During the meeting, before it even started, there was disruption. People in the audience accused her of being part of a status quo that has led to the district's ongoing struggles with some of the nation's worst test scores among urban districts, late financial reporting, and most recently dangerous levels of lead found in at least 7 schools. And so, after initially being ordered to leave, the 2 women that were allowed to stay, Angela Harris, MPS teacher, chair of the Black Educators Caucus, was one of the women heckling Zomber. And I find it interesting because, you know, she's not the one. Matter of fact, I think she's terrible. Zomber was clearly backed by the members of the Teachers Union, the Milwaukee Teachers Education Association, in attendance. Ferguson presented himself as an agent of change. He was backed by the group, including Harris and others who tried unsuccessfully to recall Zomber and 3 other board members last summer. So the problem and the bottom line is she was already there when all the crap was going on anyway. She's backed by the union. You put another union hack into the presidency and nothing's going to change. They're going to take care of the teachers union no matter what. And that's a shame. You thought they were going to make a little movement, make a little change, got a new superintendent. But now, because the superintendent's going to probably become an ally to the school board president, it's going to turn into nothing. And that's unfortunate. It doesn't help, this is what Ferguson said, if we change the superintendent and everybody else but the board remains the same. It's time for us to embrace the newness of this moment. But they're not. Ferguson replaced Aisha Carr, who just got felony charges the other day. And it's unfortunate because MPS is going to go into the toilet even further. It's going to go into the toilet. You had people come on the board who were backed by union supporters, and they voted them in, and now they're there. And it's unfortunate. Former President Marva Herndon was elected vice president, which makes absolutely no sense at all. You just exchanged one useless person for another useless person. And now MPS is going to pay for it. They're going to mishandle the lead crisis. They're already mishandling the financial crisis. And I support public and private school. But in this instance, I cannot support MPS anymore unless they change significantly. And this has shown that the board that governs all that MPS does is trash. It's garbage. And now we have to look for it to change, and it's not going to change. They're going to come up with excuses why black kids don't learn, Hispanic and Asian kids don't learn, but the South Side schools flourish. And it's unfortunate. But this is the idiocy that they would rather have money in their pocket as a school teacher or union member than teach the kids. And with all of those teachers that are just outstanding, phenomenal teachers and members of the school board, of the school union, it makes no sense. You're backing a union that doesn't support kids, and the kids are paying. And the teacher said nothing. The union supported her. So if you think next fall is going to be any different, it's not. If you think the summer or the grades are going to be any different, they're not. And we have to look forward to, you ready? Nothing. No change. No change. There's no power struggle when you have the vote 6-3. And the knucklehead idiots that voted her in, the other 5, make no sense. And now we are where we are again. We got police in. We got money. We got all those things. And now we got setback. So it's unfortunate in Milwaukee. If you got school-age kids, choose choice.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and Chris give playoff reactions on the pod. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Attention small business owners. In-person registration for the City of Milwaukee Vendor Fair scheduled for April 24th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. is now closed. If you missed registration, a recording of the event will be made available online after the vendor fair. For more details, you can visit milwaukee.gov/DOA event. That is milwaukee.gov/DOA event. This event is a gateway to expand your business through workshops, networking, and direct access to knowledgeable city staff regarding contracting and small business enterprise certification. Interested in expanding your small business via government contracting but can't make the event? Email devcord@milwaukee.gov to learn how small business enterprise certification with the City of Milwaukee can take your business to the next level. Sponsored by City of Milwaukee Department of Administration, City of Milwaukee Purchasing Department, and City of Milwaukee Department of City Development. For more information, you can visit milwaukee.gov/DOA events.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. There's a lot of buzz going around. Drafts in town. They up there in Green Bay hanging out. But you won't see any drafts seeping through Pella Windows and Doors. In fact, you should make Pella your number one pick, because right now you can take advantage of no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades. Their talented designers and installers can match your unique home through seamless customization. Certain restrictions apply, and the deal ends April 30th. You got about 7 days, so place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com. Yeah, so once again, MPS is stepping in it and doing stupid stuff, and it's just unfortunate. It is. It's, audited data they didn't have. They got board members that don't really care about anything or anybody. They just kowtow to the teachers and kiss the teachers' union ring. Not necessarily the teachers. The teachers are doing great. It's the teachers' union, and everybody thinks like it just idiotic stuff. Idiotic. And now we're stuck with knuckleheads again. And they're just going to do whatever she tells them to do. They're going to kiss the ring of the union, and we're going to get nothing in the city. Nothing's going to change, and we're going to sit here, and everybody's going to try to blame. You know what? They'll blame Donald Trump for some reason. They'll try to twist it into, we didn't get any board, we didn't get any money from the board, from education, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. All politics is local, and now you know why. Because when you take your eye off the ball, and you've been complaining about Donald Trump for the last 2 years, and he's only been in office, let me see, January, February, March, April. Okay. And been complaining about Donald Trump for 2 years. You took your eye off MPS, and MPS is trash. Not the people. Not the people, the outcome. If you're a great person and the outcome is trash, the outcome is still trash. It is. The outcome is still trash. And it's unfortunate, but that's how it is. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. In another Milwaukee move, the Milwaukee Common Council approved a flat $5,000 penalty for illegal dumping violations in the city. The vote occurred yesterday, aligned with Earth Day, and passed unanimously. Under the ordinance, each separate offense will incur a $5,000 fine. Previously, penalties range from $1,500 to $5,000. Convicted violators who do not pay may face imprisonment between 30 and 100 days. So here's my issue with this. Unless you talk to the municipal court judges, the municipal court judges will mess it up. The municipal court judges will go back on everything you say, and you will try to tell them that you need them to, go through with the trial. Well, we need to reduce this. Or the person will have like 8 counts, and it'll be a $40,000 ticket, and they'll figure out a way to, we'll make a deal when you only pay like 10, which makes no sense, which means it doesn't hurt them. If they're found guilty, they need to pay the fine. No plea deals. No talking it over with the city attorney. Have a trial. Pay a fine. Be done. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. You dump stuff out of your car. If you dump trash, tires, appliances in some neighborhoods, $5,000. You toss it out your car, $5,000. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. Is it too much? Is it too little? I love the amount, because we have got to change this. And they're dumping on the South Side too. Don't get it twisted. They dumping on the South Side too. Don't pretend like, oh, I don't know what's going on. No, they're dumping on the South Side too. They're dumping. And it's unfortunate. Nobody's screaming, nobody's hollering. And this whole, no disrespect to Tory Lowe, but the whole clean up the city, when we pay people to clean up the city, I got a problem with that. I pay taxes. Tell DPW to do their job. But they're underworked. They are underworked. Now, I called the DPW supervisor. I left the number and said I wanted my trash picked up. I did it online, and nobody called me. Nobody reached out. Nobody left a message, a text, a smoke signal, nothing. Oh, you bashing DPW. We're not going to pick up your garbage. Well, you're going to get a phone call and a text every single day. Except this time I'm complaining to the mayor's office. I'm complaining to the alderman's office. I'm complaining to DPW every single day. And it's pointed, right? You pick up everybody else's garbage except mine. And then you put the can in front of my door. So I have to get out and move it. You think you're slick. And it's unfortunate, but yep. Who's going to win? It's not about winning. It's about doing your job. I spent a good number of years working for the city, and some days it wasn't good. But you do your job. That's all. That's all I'm asking. So if you don't like something I said, call me. You don't like something I did, call me. But don't hide behind a truck, hide behind not picking up garbage or leaving it when you pick up everybody else's garbage. That's fine. But the only person that's going to get in trouble is you. That's it. Because I'm going to a city committee. I'm going to one of the commissions and I'm going to complain. Over and over and over and over. Then I'm going to go to TV. I already got radio, so what we doing? And it makes all the other people that work for the city look bad. It makes all the other people that work at DPW that hump day in, day out with all the shortages of people that are working. And they do a great job. They keep the alleys clean. They keep the garbage picked up. They keep the recyclables picked up. So it's not like they don't do their job. But when you target people, that's a problem. When you target people, it shines a light on you. And so now the flashlight is on. Don't make the flashlight become a spotlight. I'm just saying. The men and women that work for the city of Milwaukee, the men and women that work for the Department of Public Works do an awesome job. Electrical, all those things. The maintenance of the city do an awesome job. I hate to see them coming when they're doing road work because, backs up the street and you're only down a 1 lane and it's a 3-lane street or 2-lane, stuff like that. But for the most part, they're doing their job and they do it great. It's the 1-2 that decide what they don't want to do. And I'm going to be there every single time. Every single time. 833-212-1017. Hey, what's up, Lana Banana? How you doing? What's going on? So, $5,000 penalty. I agree with it. Because somebody has to pay for the removal. If they're calling DPW to come pick up trash and all this stuff, somebody's got to pay for it. Unfortunately, we had an issue where the homeowner was then left responsible for it, even though somebody dumped it on their property. That doesn't make any sense. And then if you want to get it removed, you as a property owner have to pay for it. But then how do you prove somebody dumped it? Well, you need video. So I encourage everybody to get video cameras on their houses, on their garages. Make sure you put it out of reach. And when people don't do their job or dump stuff in your yard or dump stuff in the alley, get it corrected. If I had to follow it, you got to follow too. If I got to follow the rules, you need to follow them too. I'm just saying. But the $5,000 penalty, I love it. I love it. And watch this. I know y'all going to trip out when I say this. And pay them extra, like overtime, to actually go pick up the stuff. Because you got the $5,000 fine. But just go pick up. Just go pay them. Pick it up. I think it's great. But people, you don't want to make DPW mad because they're going to do this and do that, and I will track it every single day. Every single day. Curly Q said, "Good evening, Dr. Ken." And then asked Lana, "Hey, is this show on YouTube lower in volume than other shows?" We got a way to turn up the volume we send to YouTube. We're checking now. Okay, can you hear me now? Curly Q? Hit the YouTube talking text and see what happens. But I mean, it's important. First of all, with all of that, and he said, yes, thank you. With all of that, we have to be mindful that you have to stop throwing trash in the street and throwing trash in people's yards. But if we're going to drive the city, I got to tell the city council and other elected officials, take note, unanimous vote, $5,000 for dumping. That's how you drive the city. And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazica.
Northbound on 43, still going to be a tight ride right out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Southbound, heavy right past Capitol Drive to Burleigh. Eastbound 94's got some backups from 76th Street all the way past 35th. The westbound side so far actually looking pretty good. Northbound on 41, heavy from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Silver Spring. Southbound is slowing down from 145 all the way down to Silver Spring as well. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly cloudy skies, hit or miss scattered showers or storms, a high of 65 at the lake, 70 inland. Tonight, mostly cloudy with an isolated shower, a low of 47. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazica on 101.7 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Finding stable housing shouldn't be a struggle. The Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center connects renters, property owners, and partners to the resources they need, whether it's rental assistance, legal aid, mediation, or tenant education. No matter what your situation is, you do not have to go at it alone. Get assistance today by visiting renthelpmke.org. That is renthelpmke.org, or stop by their office at 728 North James Lovell Street in Milwaukee. At the Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center, they are here for all your housing needs.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At
Great Impressions Graphics and Printing. They've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years from their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee. Their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that catch-up.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The Milwaukee Brewers getting back into the win column on Tuesday night out there in San Francisco, dominating the Giants by a final score of 11-3.
Fly ball, center field, deep, back at the track, gone! Christian Yelich, a grand slam!
With the win, the Brewers improving to 13-11 on their season. Next up is with the win, the Brewers improving to 13-11 on their season. They are set for an 8:45 pitch tonight in San Francisco. Over to the NBA, despite 34 points from Giannis, the Milwaukee Bucks fall to the Indiana Pacers in Game 2 by a final score of 123-115. The Bucks made a late comeback, but just fell short.
When we got to get a stop, we did not get a stop. Over anything else right now, we got to be able to get a stop on a call.
Game 3 is set for Friday in Milwaukee. The Bucks down 2-0 in that series. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Oh, yeah. John Swing Productions. Alicia Laverne, Don Luch. And it goes a little something like this. Hit it. I got the vibe for you, babe, like a grace, no surprise, honey bun. Ooh, you got it made when you're laid in my arms by the charms that I have. My sharp like a knife, loving's good when I stab. You say my love's not what you want, then you change when I kiss you. I don't mean to diss, but you're strange. You can't make up your mind. Don't wanna shove or push you to fall into love, baby.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. We got to have a meetup dance. Anyway, I'm too old to dance. No. That was mean. Cry. From News1.com, jury process begins in the trial for Sade Robinson's alleged killer. Are you okay with headlines? Jury process begins in trial for white man who allegedly mutilated black woman. I know we write headlines to entice people to read the story. I get it. But when we racialize everything, not everything is racialized. Let me give you an example. There was a conversation going on yesterday, and the person mentioned two other people taking a car when it was a white car. And as they talked, I was about to say something, and they thought I was going to say something about them. The person was white, talking about a white car. And I looked at them and I said, and they kind of responded in a way of, well, yeah, I knew you were gonna. And I said, and I don't think they heard me, but I said, excuse me? Like, why would I be upset that you're talking about a white car? Like, am I that sensitive? Like, what? That made no sense. Are you that, if you're that racially sensitive that you can't hear somebody talk about a white car, but then what does it say about you when you think I am going to get upset about you talking about a white car to somebody else? You're white and the people you were talking to is white. What does that have to do with anything? It was just weird. And I've been debating whether or not I should say something to the person and say, look, I don't know what you think about me or black people, or I'm not. I just want to ask you, why did you say what you said? Like, what prompted you to assume that you're smart enough to think that when I say something, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it? That's just weird. You should rethink that. Now, some people said, when I told them the story, well, that's insulting. That's really not. People are who they are. And the person didn't mean anything about the white car, didn't mean anything about anything. They were just talking about white versus red versus brown versus blue. It was a color. But to assume that I would be, oh my God, they're upset because I said the word white. What, I'm a fall? Like, I'm not a strawberry. I'm not a cantaloupe. If you drop me, I'm not going to splat. I'm not a snowflake. Blow some hot air on me and I fall apart. No. But that's the problem in America today. Other people think they know you when they don't know you. Other people think they know what bothers you when it doesn't bother you. Other people take entertainment and talk radio and all sorts of things as gospel. And it's just one person's opinion. One person on the truth does not represent black people. They don't. They do not. Carrie Noni and Benjamin don't represent black people. They represent themselves. Sherwin Hughes doesn't represent black people. He represents himself. Kyle Wallace doesn't represent black people. He represents himself. Tory Lowe, well, I guess you can say he represents black people. But anyway, he doesn't represent all black people. He represents himself. And I don't represent all black people. I just represent me. And I think that's the beauty of where we are today. That's the beauty of the truth. And so when I hear people say that, or when I see this headline written and racialized, while it's tragic and we need to still look at it from that lens, that a white guy went on a date with a black girl, mutilated her, killed her, mutilated her, and cut her body parts up and threw her all over southeast Wisconsin. I hope he's found guilty if he's guilty and goes to jail. But then people will have trouble if I say if. Well, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Just like the copper that fired shots outside of COA. Innocent until proven guilty, but they got you on video. I'm just saying. We really need to stop being so sensitive, but then white people need to stop thinking we're sensitive. All the dust up in the last 4 months is because people have learned they don't have to be scared anymore. So that now they're going to the other extreme and acting a fool. And you can't let them. 833-212-1017 is, let me check my talking text line because y'all be hollering at me without me knowing it. Y'all be screaming like, hey, what's wrong with you? Lucretia said, what was the name of the last song that was played? It's not the way we planned it. Please and thank you. What was the name of that last song? What? I want to fall in love? I don't want to fall in love. Say it on the air.
Don't want to fall in love.
Don't want to fall in love. Thank you. You want to fight? Can you even
Be
fight?
quiet.
Can you even fight? You know, when people taller than you, they act all tough. I'm bigger than you. Anyway. So you got that, Lucretia? Did I say your name right, Lucretia? Okay. Okay. You're supposed to be saying hello to me, Lana. Talking to no Curly Q. I already said hello to Curly Q. Anyway. It must be Wednesday. It's just one of those days. I got so much stuff I want to talk about today. I don't even know why. I just don't understand why I did it like this. When we come back, I want to talk about Kanye. Did you hear what Kanye did? Did you hear what Kanye did? I don't understand why. Like, what is it? Is it attention getting? Is it, I don't know. It's bizarre. And sometime today, we're also going to talk about a Milwaukee County judge who's like, well, I'll just read the story and let you decide. I won't judge because it's just an investigation. And anybody can be investigated. Anybody can be looked at. But when we come back, we're going to talk about Kanye. He be into some stuff that don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. Oh, and let me go back because I forgot. The killer of Sade Robinson, the trial starts May 27th. So we're going to be tracking that closely and looking at what's happening. But when we come back, we also want to look at Kanye West and some of the strange stuff he's doing in Cali. And all I'm saying is I am abundantly happy I do not live. And if there's any state of the union that I would never move to, California is number one.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's Dame time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year, I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, and H&R Benefits Consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/the reason to get started.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Gear up for a great time as Sports Milwaukee hosts Milwaukee Tailgate Week, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Set for April 24th to the 26th, Milwaukee Tailgate Week features a variety of gridiron activations for all ages, steeped in Milwaukee's iconic sports history, brews, restaurants, and venues. As the 2025 draft takes center stage in Green Bay, Sports Milwaukee and the Cream City are excited to welcome the football world to Wisconsin. For tickets, go to visitmilwaukee.org/tailgate. Brought to you by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class.
Use promo code VISIT for 50% off.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. We've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Now, that's kind of weird. I was listening to that on my way here to work. Howard Hewitt. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. So, your boy Kanye, what is he up to now? Well, you know, sometimes people have personal issues, and we all know that Kanye is having some, in my estimation, in my non-medical, non-trained eye, is having some mental health issues. Well, this from Daily Mail from the UK. Kanye West is under fire from his Los Angeles neighbors who say his chaotic hooligan choir auditions are disrupting the community with blaring music, Nazi symbols, and military-style drills. The 41-year-old rapper whose wife, Bianca Censori, made a bombshell move in their marriage after his shocking incest claim, had police called on him after deafening noise from his casting call pushed his Lurchmont neighbors to the brink. This is according to TMZ. The tryouts had triggered nearly a dozen LAPD complaints in the last 60 days. West, who recently came under fire for performing with specific skin types and a willingness to wear swastikas, has covered the upscale residential area with flyers promoting his so-called hooligan choir. The flyers include eyebrow-raising requirements like no one fat, all black clothing, and a skin tone matching that of Sean Diddy Combs, who himself is heading to trial on federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Ooh. One chilling line reads, you have to be comfortable wearing swastikas. And what do you think about that? 833-212-1017 is the number. Is it time to cut Kanye loose? Like, is it time to say, hey, dude, it's been great, but I think it's time? You know? Is it time to tell Kanye you need to, like, you know, roll out? You need to roll out. And his wife, when he said that he, you know, had incest with a cousin, did his wife do the right thing? I mean, just roll out on him? You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't get Kanye. I don't. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Like, what is it about millionaires and billionaires and famous people and singers and all that who lose their minds later in life? I think I got better. I'm just saying. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ the sound of Kanye's songs, namely Carnival and Black Skinhead, have been blasting from outdoor speakers, shaking walls inside near homes, and making life unbearable. Eyewitnesses say black men with shaved heads are often seen outside the warehouse dressed in black and standing in rigid formation military style. Do they complain when white people do that? I mean, anyway. 833-212-1017 is the number. Kathy, you are on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Kanye West has been having these issues before he was even married. You know, when you have mental health issues or whatever, there's a kind of a breakdown. But sometimes when you're kind of high up and a lot of other things going on, you tend to not see that, or your mind tend to be busy with other things. Even when he went to Canada, that's when he first met this one lady before he even got married. When his mom had passed, there was issues with him before that, but it never manifested itself to a certain degree that we've seen it. Now we can see it, whether he's a millionaire or not. But I think some of his money and other things he have going on kind of kept the mind, or the psychics might have been more busy or doing something else. But somebody should reach out to him. I'm talking about somebody high up in media. I don't know if it should be entertainment, some kind of black, white, probably black female psychiatrist or psychologist to talk with him and put the foot down and really talk with him about going through therapy and working out some of his issues, and perhaps maybe even being on some kind of a medication or something like that. But Kanye had a problem for many, many years. Now that's really started to manifest itself and really come out in him. And whether his wife left him because he had relations with a relative because of incest, they were on the way out the door probably anyway.
Yeah, but we're talking, he's 47 years old, and he's talking about when he was a child. So we're talking at least, 40 years ago? Like, she was looking for a reason to leave.
Right, that's what I said. She already had some stuff going on. She was going to leave anyway, and I don't think that's the first time she had heard that. Even if it was, like you said, their time was up with each other.
Well, did you see the dress? Did you see the dress she wore with him this year?
Recently?
That was almost like see-through. You could see like everything. But she says he has a problem.
Okay, yeah, isn't that the truth? Now, she's saying he has a problem, but if you look at a lot of these celebrities, black, white, Hispanic, they all want to be, maybe the word's not right, exhibitionists. They want to be naked. If they could come out naked and squat down, squat over, that's what they want to do. Look at all the events that they go to. Most of them, 99%, they want to be naked. They want to be naked. They want the chest out. They want the vagina.
I don't know if you can say that.
No, I can say no. It's a truth. Well, look at all the clothes
that's
they
what
wear.
You believe, but I don't know.
Mr. Ken, I just don't believe that.
You said 99%. I don't think so.
Okay, I could say 80 or 40% or 20%. 20% would be too low. But look at these women when they come out with all their stuff and everybody want to pull off everything so their chest. They want to be naked. They want to wear clothes that they can be naked in. Naked. Look at all the way down from Lizzo to what's her name, Lopez. All of them, Janet Jackson. They all want at one point. Everybody want to come out on stage with hardly anything on. Now, hey, I got a fine body myself. That's fantastic. But that's what they do, and that's what everybody's allowing them to do. They want to be naked. So I'm not going to holler about this broad being naked. She's a pretty woman to begin with, but that's what they do in that industry. That's what a lot of them are doing.
Okay.
I mean, anybody going to call and say, Kathy's wrong, they got a turtleneck on. They're not wearing a turtleneck. They want it to be naked. They want everything to show. They leave, and I don't care about the imagination. That's what they do. So, sure.
All right. 833-212-1017 is the number. Here's my question. Why do people care about what rich people do? Like, why do we follow people? Like, why? Did anybody care what Kanye West did before? Nope. Did anybody care? Nope. Does anybody really care now? I bet his neighbors do. I bet his neighbors do, for sure. But I think also what he's showing you is it's like the N-word. If you let it bother you, then it has power. And every little thing, oh my God, I'm bothered by it, then we got to shut the world down. And I thought we got over that. You would think that people would have gotten over that. But somehow we just hold on to offense for no good reason. Like you can offend black people, Hispanic people, Asian people, men, women, LGBTQ. You could offend everybody, but if you offend someone Jewish, all of those groups come after you. Now, you should not be offending Jewish people. You should not. But if we're going to be consistent, let's do it for everybody. And the Trump administration needs to remember we actually have a Civil Rights Act. We have a statute, a federal statute that prohibits some of the things that he's doing. And I don't understand. I got my top 5 at 5 coming up after the news. And in my top 5 at 5, I want to talk about something I talked about before about the National Museum of African American History and Culture. If they're going to be coming after institutions like the Smithsonian, then they basically got to shut everything down. All of the museums. That's what I say. That's the only thing that can happen.
What's poppin', Truth Nation? It's your girl, Noni Juice. Tune into The Truth this Saturday at 11 a.m. for another episode of More Than a Movement, powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin. If you didn't know, last week was Black Maternal Health Week, so I will be joined by Sarah Noble, Chandra Lewis, and Tamara Thompson, and we will discuss healing legacies and why Black maternal health is an important issue for all of us to be aware of. Again, that is More Than a Movement, powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin, this Saturday at 11 a.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here at the new 101.7 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 101.7 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee Black Talk.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
Saving energy and money is easier than you think. Here are 2 simple things you can do to reduce your energy use and lower your energy bill. Use thermal curtains to reduce each room's energy loss by up to 25%, and make sure vents aren't blocked by furniture or rugs to improve airflow and comfort. Simple, smart savings. Get more energy-saving tips at WeEnergies.com.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about? What am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's giving me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. Locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. New leadership for the Milwaukee School Board.
Director Zambor, having received a majority of the votes, the chair declares that you are the duly elected president for the ensuing year.
At-large board member Missy Zambor will serve as the next president of the MPS School Board of School Directors. Current board president Marva Herndon will serve as vice president. Zambor was first elected to the board in 2023. In more news regarding the Milwaukee Public School Board, there's now more legal trouble for a former board member. Aisha Carr is now accused of filing fraudulent campaign finance reports and misappropriating funds for her personal use. Prosecutors say Carr's reports contain false information regarding campaign account balances and her disbursements. Carr was previously charged with lying about living in the district she represented, while also receiving payment for her service. It's unclear when Carr will appear in court to address the latest charges. Recent comments made by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has parents of children with autism frustrated. Kennedy's comments focus on what those with autism could not do, including holding a job or playing sports. Megan Houghton is an education and training specialist with the Autism Society of South Central Wisconsin. She says those comments are not accurate.
You know, I think quality of life is subjective, and so it was really hard for me to hear, children like mine being kind of described just by what they can't do, and it kind of felt more like they were being described as the burden that they are, and that's just really not how we live our lives.
Houghton says autism is a spectrum of differing functions and behaviors. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Chauncey said, come on, man. You know, most don't know a doggone thing about Howard Hewitt. Obviously, they just don't make music like that no more. By the way, I also have that one on my playlist, too, as I do a lot of the tunes you rock on your show, including but not limited to Norman Brown. Closer. Yeah. But Norman Brown didn't make, did he? Hang on. I gotta check and see who wrote it. It's in my playlist. I don't remember who did it. I don't think that's, well, let's find out. It might be. Do. No, it's Kurt Whalum. It's not Norman Brown. It's Kurt Whalum. I thought it was Kurt Whalum. I'm a Kurt Whalum fan. I'm just saying. Yep. I'm just a Kurt Whalum fan. So I'm just saying. Let me see what else. You know how many Don't Fall in Love songs there are? Who's the artist?
They probably all sample the same one.
Okay, this is not that song is not a sample. That's the original.
That's exactly my point. It's probably the original sample because I recognized it, but I'm like, oh, this isn't the song that I know. So I'm like, oh, this must be the original sample.
There's no such thing as an original sample. There's an original, and then you sample the original. Why can't we just teach young folk what they're doing? And then he called me old. Can you believe that? I'm offended. I resemble that remark. Oh, what's up? Ooh, what's up, Mal? It's Wednesday. Just gotta get through the day. Just gotta get through the day. And there's only one way. There's really only one way to do that.
Number 5.
Well, you heard about it from WISN.com. In a closed-door session last night, the Wauwatosa School Board voted to close the Wauwatosa STEM, that's Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, school. WSTEM, which is located inside Wilson Elementary School on Glenview Avenue, is scheduled to close June 30th of 2026. Months ago, the board voted to extend the STEM school's contract through 2030, but in a closed-door session last night, members reversed course, voting 4-2 to end the school's charter. Parents say they want more transparency. One parent, Joanne Legata, said, I think we're tired and disappointed and really feel blindsided by last night's decision after 2 hours of closed-door session, and there's no explanation, nothing else, and just leaving us in shock with a shut door. In October, the board introduced a plan to bring STEM education to students district-wide. Well, they've said that they're going to be introducing STEM for all, which would be wonderful if that happens. I think that's going to be a really long process, says parent Leslie Kruger this morning. The school district sent out a news release this morning saying, in part, looking forward, the district is excited to launch its Discovery Lab elementary special for all students starting the next school year. So we'll see. We shall see what happens. I think it's unfortunate, but the school board has to make a sound decision. Boy, I wish Milwaukee had a school board like that.
Number 4.
From Channel 4 Detroit, click on Detroit.com. So this is an interesting story. Here you have a black guy former Detroit Riverfront Conservancy Chief Financial Officer William A. Smith. The Detroit Riverfront Conservancy is asking a federal judge to give the former chief financial officer the 20-year sentence, the maximum, after he embezzled from the nonprofit for over a decade. Now, I'm thinking as I'm reading the story, another person got caught up in getting money and all that. William Smith pleaded guilty to wire fraud, money laundering in November 2024 and is scheduled to be sentenced tomorrow, April 24th. He's agreed to pay at least, you ready? His restitution, $44.3 million. The request comes after federal prosecutors asked for an 18-year prison sentence for the former CFO. U.S. District Judge Susan DeClercq said Smith did not simply steal money from a nonprofit. He stole from volunteers and used that money for excess, flamboyance, and greed. Lawyer Matthew Schneider wrote on behalf of the Conservancy in a letter to the judge. Prosecutor says Smith used over $40 million over 10 years. Oh, let me do this. That's 120 months, right? So 40 million divided by 120. Dude burned through $333,333.33 every month on average. He used funds to lease a Maserati Levante for his girlfriend, and throughout the entirety of the scheme, he transferred her $3.7 million in the Conservancy's funds. That number doesn't include the gifts and the travel and the jewelry that were purchased for her. He spent $100,000 on a private yacht for a week in the Mediterranean, bought more than $526,000 in items from Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and spent more than $507,000 on floor seats for the Detroit Pistons. The former CFO falsified bank statements to cover up the scheme, according to prosecutors, and in March of 2024, Conservancy leaders were concerned about the nonprofit's financial condition after a board meeting and confronted Smith about it. Time out. You weren't having audits done? Like you weren't auditing the nonprofit? Say, hey, that's great, but we're going to hire an auditor, and we're going to bring the auditor in, and we're not going to tell you. Just come in and do it. Conservancy reported their findings to the authorities, prompted an FBI investigation. Smith was officially fired in May of 2024. Victim impact statements came from volunteers, board members, donors, and employees. When sentencing, think of Will stealing over a decade, 10 years. And do not just think of this as his first offense. This is what an employee said. He would have most likely kept going if he didn't get caught. All of us affected would like to see him behind bars for a long time. A board member also said, I can only begin to tell you the negative impact that has resulted in the black community. Mr. Smith's actions give those who want to find a reason not to provide equal opportunity an excuse to avoid providing access to executive positions, jobs, and contracts. In their statements, many expressed concerns about how deceitful the CFO was for years, and how what he had done has impacted the reputation of the Conservancy. And so now people are saying, we're not going to give money to the organization, never again. But here's my issue. Now's the time you need to give money. Yes, they did wrong. It's been corrected. So now what do we do? You support it. They got rid of the bad apple. Clearly, they didn't have some systems in place to fix it. Clearly, there were some things that were supposed to be there that weren't there, and now they're gonna just, and so now they're just gonna like bite the bullet. We have to stop being so zero tolerant. Like, oh, you messed up, we're done, we'll never give you money again. And I'm like that sometimes, but then I have to take a step back and check myself. I had to do that with Will Smith. I really wasn't feeling Will. Will committed a crime. Should have been arrested. Should at least got a $10,000 ticket or something. And I know there's not one out there for battery, but at some point, he became emotional and he did it. Now, some of the things other people have done in Hollywood, they didn't get suspended for 10 years. But when you do it on TV and when you do it where people can see it, that's trouble. When 1 billion people around the world see you slap somebody. Now, me, I would have sold my story to the highest bidder.
Number 3.
From the Daily Mail in the UK. So this is for some of y'all that got that thing called Verizon. The nation's largest wireless provider is bleeding subscribers after jacking up prices and scaling back on deals. Verizon lost, this is the first 3 months of the year, January, February, March, January 1st through March 31st. They said yesterday they lost 289,000 monthly subscribers. It's more than double the losses it suffered this time last year, far worse than Wall Street expected. Customers fled in droves. Reflects the impact of recent pricing actions. Chief Financial Officer Tony Skaidas admitted during the earnings call yesterday. Verizon, the largest wireless provider in the U.S., has been steadily raising rates in recent years with another sneaky change to its contracts last December, which really annoyed people. Once known for big holiday promos, they pulled back after Christmas, while T-Mobile and AT&T kept slashing prices. That backfired move as frustrated users ditched the service. The phone provider market is highly competitive, and cash-strapped consumers are willing to switch to another if their monthly bill goes up. Gotta talk and walk with your wallet, a Verizon customer wrote on Reddit. Give them the boot. They'll get it or not when enough people continue to do it. And he was disillusioned. Now in damage control, Verizon offering a 3-year price lock and free trade-ins for phones to win customers back. Still, CEO Hans Vestberg made clear that if Trump's proposed tariffs spike phone prices, Verizon won't be eating the cost. It'll be passing it on to customers. My question is, will they have customers? I'm just saying, will they actually have customers? Customers are also holding onto their devices for longer, shunning expensive upgrades as economic uncertainty continues. AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile are locked in a battle to win subscribers, often competing on rates and deals. And Verizon blames some of the losses on DOJ's government cutbacks. Yeah, because we're going to blame somebody else for something. We saw the impact of the new government and their efficiency work to bring in new subscribers. Like, what does that have to do with it? I don't know. To bring in new subscribers, the company has now announced a 3-year price fix. So if the price is already high, you're telling me it's not going to go up. What? Okay. The move could lure in customers concerned about inflation and looking for a price stability in their monthly budgets. The provider is also providing a free phone trade-in for both mobile and home internet plans. Vestberg also said that if the price of mobile phones goes up as a result, of course, because of Trump's tariffs, then they're not going to swallow the costs. He said on the call, we will not cover any enormous increases on tariffs on handsets. That's ultimately going to be passed on to the consumer. I don't know. But despite their falling prices, their falling subscribers, operating revenue increased to $33.5 billion, beating the analysts' estimates of $33.3 billion. That's unfortunate. But I say, let's do it. YouTube is going up again. Hulu, everybody up. I don't know if Hulu's going up. But $10, that's an extra $120 a year. For what? TV? Now streaming costs as much as cable, which makes me then go back to like free TV. I mean, that's really all you can do. Go back to free TV because I'll just start watching. Like, they sneak around with the commercials. They sneak around and try to figure out a way. Oh, well, the network put the commercial in. We're supposed to be commercial free, but they put the commercial in the movie. So, like, are you really? You got to deal with them. Hey, y'all, if y'all want to make extra money, you could put money. You could put commercials in your show. And then we'll say, we didn't put the commercials in. You did. I think it's garbage. Even if it's true, it's garbage. And so I'm searching. I almost switched over, but then I realized that the price is pretty much the same as what I have, and then it's going up. So I'm just starting to cancel stuff. I'm not looking at it. I won't miss it. I'm just done. It's crazy. $82.99 a month for YouTube TV. At this rate, why would you bother? Like, what's the difference between cable TV and streaming? Cable, it's really just cable TV. They disrupted the cable and put it on streaming, but it's the same thing. You're getting the same shows. And now it's costing the same. That's ridiculous. So you want to make more money so you get more customers, so then you charge more. Because people are hooked. But I don't think they're hooked. I think people are saying this is too much. I think people are saying it's too much. And I wonder how many people have left YouTube. How many people said, no. Between $84 and $90 for high-speed Wi-Fi is no longer cheaper than just a normal cable internet bundle. So people are leaving. People are rolling out. And if they don't do something about it, right? I can watch sports on Amazon, HBO Max, Paramount Plus. So if I can watch a game there, why would I pay for YouTube and then pay extra? The whole point of getting the streaming is that I got everything in one price. Now you're nickel and diming me to death. And so I'm just like, yeah, got to kick them to the curb.
Number 2.
From thegrio.com, you remember Caleb Wilson? He's the young man who was killed in a hazing ritual while pledging Omega Psi Phi. And they want to ensure that his story is not forgotten. So the family of the 20-year-old junior mechanical engineering student at Southern University and A&M College, they are putting billboards up, digital billboards. And so Omega Psi Phi gathered for their annual district meeting in New Orleans last week, just 6 weeks after his death, and currently being investigated as a hazing incident. They were met with reminders of Wilson on a digital billboard near the meeting. The various digital billboard messages included messages like, "Stop hazing. In his memory, we will give others voices. He had a future. Hazing took it away," along with images of Wilson. Another digital slide features a bucket list of sorts, a list like graduation 2026, wedding, funeral, and burial. Only the final funeral and burial, March 15th, 2025, item was checked off on the list. Digital billboards purchased by his aunts and uncles were launched to spread awareness of his case and advance the efforts of the anti-hazing bill up for consideration, dubbed the Caleb Wilson Act, and to get the fraternity's attentions. One of the texts on the digital billboard reads, while you celebrate, remember Caleb. So that's unfortunate. Wilson was a native of Kenner, Louisiana, played horn for the HBCU's marching band, honored with multiple vigils and memorials after his death, including a second-line parade in New Orleans. So if the Caleb Wilson Act or House Bill 279 were enacted, it would require Louisiana college students joining campus organizations to complete a 1 credit hour anti-hazing course within their first 2 semesters, NOLA.com reported. If the student is a minor, their parents or legal guardian would also receive course materials. So when you hear it, I think that's actually something to be applauded.
Number 1.
This also from the Griot. Well, as he does one day every month, the Reverend Robert Turner hit the road from his home in Baltimore last week and traveled on foot 49 miles, 69 kilometers to Washington, D.C. He arrived by evening on April 16th outside the White House carrying a sign that called for reparations now. This time, Turner added another stop on his long journey, the National Museum of African American History and Culture. He knelt in prayer, laid a wreath at the entrance of the museum in support of its mission, which incurred Donald Trump's criticism along with other Smithsonian Institution sites. In a March 27th executive order, I don't know if you remember, Trump alleged that the Smithsonian exhibits had disparaged the nation's history via a divisive, race-centered ideology. Turner wanted to show support for the museum, which opened in 2016 and received its 10 millionth visitor in 2023. The museum shows a history of chattel slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, and its lingering effects, but it also highlights determination, success, and contributions of Black Americans and Black institutions. So they're calling for support. Turner said he got the idea from Reverend Otis Moss III of Trinity United Church of Christ in Chicago, whose church also joined the museum and who urges others to do the same. For only $25 a year, you can protect Black history. And so I talked about it the other day. That's what Reverend Moss told his church. And so I talked about it the other day, and I estimated something like $55 million goes towards the budget. And so there are, and I know this will be tough, there are 14 million people. Okay, let's go with 13. 13 million Black people in America. If for everybody in your family, you paid $25 as a membership to the Smithsonian, that would give them $325 million. So divided by 55, or roughly, that would give them a decent time, you know? So that's about 300 million divided into 55 million, which is roughly what their budget is every year, and that'll hold them for about 5.5 years, 5.45 years. So I say we need to start a movement to have everybody give $25 for everybody in their family. If you got 4 people in your family, give $100. If you're just one person, give $25. And we can guarantee that the museum stays open without the support of the federal government. Because I think I remember the number, somewhere between 62 and 64%, 62% of the money that goes to the Smithsonian comes from the federal government. And I think we have enough people in this country. We have enough people, enough Black people, just enough people, period, to cover the cost of that museum. That doesn't mean that you don't give to other museums and don't do all the other things, but I think it's important that the African American Museum stays for our children's children.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices, and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Using gas to heat our homes can be dangerous, but we have the technology to transition to clean electric alternatives. My name is Matt Vespa. I'm a senior attorney at Earth Justice, and I'm going to court to fight for clean energy. Until safe, affordable clean energy is an option in every home, I will never rest.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Jasmine said, I started reading that book from Tara Roberts. It is good so far. Oh, no. It gets better. It gets significantly better as you go along. There's so many parts of her life. If you missed it, you can go to our interviews on 1017thetruth.com. And the interview with Tara Roberts, who's the scuba diver, to find sunken slave ships. So, Curly Q said, Dr. Ken, do you think she chose to look that way on the red carpet? It could have been forced, just speculation. Why would you do that? Like, why would you say she was forced to dress like that? Does she look like she was coerced? She looks like she decided to dress like that. I'm just saying. I don't know. Ain't none of my business, but she looks ridiculous. I think she looks ridiculous, and the only reason I say she looks ridiculous is because she doesn't have any clothes on. She doesn't. None. Could see through. So why are you wearing something over it if you could see through it? I don't understand that. And why didn't somebody go, hey, Empress has no clothes, right? And I know for y'all that don't read, that's the, anyway. Mao, I don't understand Mao the elephant. Like, I don't really get that. Anyway, Curly Q said YouTube TV has gone up. Streaming when paired with your internet bill is more than cable was. Yep. And get this. Cable sends you the signal, and you got to pay extra in the same cable for internet. Like, makes no sense. I think if we're going to do the city the way we're doing the city, just like We Energies gets to, rob us and do. I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. Just kidding. to be the only, because of the infrastructure costs, right? It costs so much. It's a utility. So you can't have multiple utilities because one or both of them will lose money, and you can't get everybody to, and then it just falters. So we have We Energies, right? You got consistent. I think their downtime is like, in the single, not even a single digit, but in the hundredths or tenths of a percent. So they've done phenomenally well. The issue I'm having is we need Wi-Fi to be the same way. If we're going to give access to everyone, rich, middle class, poor, billionaires, trillionaire, don't matter. You need to have access to the internet. That means it should be free. You need a utility that the city can pay to come and charge us Wi-Fi. Or the city just pays for it and we use taxpayer dollars to do it. Now, the problem is when it goes out, and my Wi-Fi is out. The whole city's out and everything just shuts down. So, I don't know. We got to work out the semantics, work out the bugs. But at some point, I think it's important. Curly Q say, mess around and watch me TV all day. I can't do old TV shows. I like a lot of new stuff. Does anybody even? So here's the problem. I so very rarely watch regular TV. Like, I rarely watch a TV show live. I always go back and watch it, record it, or I'll just go back and find it. Miles said, Dr. Ken, are you into reality TV? Absolutely not. If you've been a cop for 20-something years, you do not want to, I lived reality TV. I went to calls that were reality TV. Should have been on reality TV. No, can't do. I'm done. I hate it because it's fake, and we already know what the outcome's going to be. It's like watching The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. Who cares? And why are you crying? Now, people think that this person just met this person, but this has been going on for like 6 months, 8 months, and they recorded it, and you only see it over a certain series of weeks, and it's edited. So it seems like we met last week, we love each other week 2, and I'm in a limo crying week 3. Do guys ever cry when the woman turns them away? Like on The Bachelorette? Do guys cry? I don't know. If they did, I would laugh. But I've never been into reality. People living in a house together, watching birds on the internet, watching a nest, watching animals. That's just not me. And I don't get what anybody gets out of cute puppy or kitten videos. I don't get it. And it's not my age because I had 2 cats. And both cats, I think we got them when they were very small as kittens. And they grew up and got old, and they were like 10, 12 years old. So I get it. I'm okay with it. But, we're turning the world upside down. We're screaming and hollering. We're fighting people for cats and dogs, and we don't do it for people. It's unfortunate. I'm waiting on the protests for the 17-year-old that got killed here in Milwaukee. I'm waiting for people to scream and holler and get mad, but nothing. Quiet. Nothing. Going to Northern Illinois, pre-med, good grades, Milwaukee Lutheran High School. Nothing. No screaming, no hollering. But somebody tells you Donald Trump did something, and whether it's true or not, you just lose your mind and want to call up everybody and do everything you want to do to scream and holler. And it's the same on conservative radio. you people, oh my God, Democrats did this, Democrats did that. Ah. And then when they're done, they don't do anything either. And now it's trickled down to Milwaukee. And we have more people that probably showed up for dumping trash than the MPS board meeting. And that speaks volumes.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
As I reflect on my journey, I'm reminded of God's blessings and guidance. I've been fortunate enough to accomplish some remarkable feats, including walking 750 miles from Milwaukee to Washington, D.C. in honor of the Civil Rights Movement. I also walked against violence from Milwaukee to Chicago and back for 7 consecutive years. My feet are still recovering, but my spirit remains strong. I've been privileged to advocate for victims of police brutality, search for missing persons, and participate in numerous of protests. Last year, I was honored to visit the White House with my colleagues from 1017 The Truth to discuss pressing issues in the Black community with the Biden administration. Throughout my broadcasting career, I've received several First Place Wisconsin Broadcast Association awards for The Tory Lowe Show. I've also had the opportunity to be part of ESPN 94.5's Packer pregame show at Lambeau Field. As I look back, I am grateful for the incredible journey. Salute to my brothers and sisters on the front lines. And thank you for your tireless efforts and dedication. We're in this together, and I could not have done anything without the love and support of my community. I want to remind you to keep pushing forward, stay vigilant, keep your head on a swivel, green don't always mean go, and look both ways before you cross the street. And always look out for one another. In 2025, we still got a lot of work to do. God bless you, and I love you.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
We have a new crash to deal with. This is on 41 southbound, right at the ramp from Good Hope Road. The right shoulder is blocked, so watch out for that. It is still going to be heavy all the way down from that point, all the way to Silver Spring. And then you're back on the brakes from Watertown Plank Road down through the Zoo Interchange onto 894 southbound. Northbound's backed up from Watertown Plank Road all the way to Silver Spring. Another crash on 94 eastbound just inside the Milwaukee County line. We have a crash off on the right shoulder there, so that's going to be tying things up just a bit. You're going to see more delays heading through the Zoo Interchange all the way to the Stadium Interchange to about 35th Street. Northbound 43 backing up basically over the high-rise bridge all the way up to Keefe. Southbound slow from North Avenue down to the KK River crossing. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Mostly cloudy skies, isolated showers, a low of 47. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, slight chance for showers, a high of 55 at the lake, 65 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The Milwaukee Brewers getting back into the win column on Tuesday night out there in San Francisco, dominating the Giants by a final score of 11-3.
Fly ball, center field, deep, back at the track, gone! Christian Yelich, a grand slam!
With the win, the Brewers improving to 13-11 on their season. Next up is with the win, the Brewers improving to 13-11 on their season. They are set for an 8:45 pitch tonight in San Francisco. Over to the NBA, despite 34 points from Giannis, the Milwaukee Bucks fall to the Indiana Pacers in Game 2 by a final score of 123-115. The Bucks made a late comeback, but just fell short.
When we got to get a stop, we did not get a stop. Over anything else right now, we got to be able to get a stop on a call.
Game 3 is set for Friday in Milwaukee. The Bucks down 2-0 in that series. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm trying to check something somebody told me. So, Chauncey said, "My bad, Doc. I was thinking your closer was That's the Way Goes by Norman Brown." No, it's Ascension by Kurt Whalum, which you'll hear in a few minutes. Perhaps I frequently heard such a song during your show, but yeah, Kurt's tune is your closer for sure. That tune is a jazzed up sample from Maxwell's hit. And then even Sling TV and Spectrum have recently gone up. Fire Stick or smart TVs are still tax-free winners in terms of basic streaming. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But everything is just expensive now. And I don't think there's any real reason for it. There really isn't. I think we just yeah. I don't get it. I don't know why we pay so much. Maybe we should, I don't know, go outside and walk and talk to each other, maybe? Imagine that. Imagine that, to actually have a conversation. Not to be redundant, but are you sure you've never included way back that Norman Brown cut was your closer? No, I did not. Seems like I remember it being so once upon a time. I'm sure you've heard Norman Brown, but what cut was it? I doubt if it was off one of the other shows. Well, it probably wasn't, because the only person I can think that would probably play anything remotely close to that is Sherwin. So maybe Tori. I don't know. But I don't I know what it is. I know what it is. I finally figured out exactly what it was. You know what I think it was? I think it was this. I think that's what it was. That's just me. I think that's what it was. So you was listening to Norman Brown and Gerald Albright. So now I've played that before. Usually when I leave, when I'm coming or ending a interview or something, that's what I play. Champagne Life. I'm just saying. Hey, Lana, you're on the award-winning 101.7.
Hey, Dr. King.
You literally have a minute. What's up?
Okay. All right. If they didn't close the Smithsonian, what would have happened? And if they wouldn't have got any federal funds, is that legal? And another thing, do you like Patrice Rushen? If so, Number One is a good song from her.
Patrice Rushen is my absolute best, most listened to artist in my life.
I know you heard Number One by her, right?
Yes. Yes.
I like that one too. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Now
so that's a good one too.
So also understand that the federal government doesn't have to fund a museum. They choose
but
to do.
Were they getting funds from the government?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
62% of their budget came from the federal government.
Okay, and Trump has the right to take away anything that the government has been giving to them if they don't close?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll get overturned in court. But I don't really care because we have enough black people in this country and people that care about African American history to pay the money and run it ourselves. But, yeah.
That Smithsonian is awesome.
It is. I've been there 3 times.
Wonderful.
Yep.
For everybody. I've heard white people say they like it. They learn a lot from that, you know?
I'm a charter member.
That's knowledge. Knowledge is power. Huh?
I'm a charter member. There from day one.
Okay, see?
Yep.
That's a good one, Dr. Ken Harris. I have yet to go there one day.
You got to go.
Okay,
hey,
that's all I wanted.
Hey, thank you. Maybe we'll get somebody together and we'll go take a trip. All right?
There you go. That's
All
a good. I like that.
All
yes.
right.
Yes.
Thank you,
okay.
ma'am.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Peace.
It's 101.7 The Truth, Dr. Ken Harris. You know, there are times in everyone's life when life kind of tosses you a curveball and you have to readjust and realign and rededicate your resources to making things better. And sometimes you may know what to do, but a lot of times you have no idea what to do because you've never faced the issue before, especially when it's financial. Now, for the last couple of decades, I've been able to use this place that I think is absolutely great. You can turn to Educators Credit Union. I had a financial issue that involved another family member, and I was able to get in and get advice and get a plan. And I'm here to tell you today that it works. At Educators, our members are our purpose. As a credit union, we're not concerned about profits or the bottom line of shareholders. Our greatest award and reward is you achieving your financial dreams through lower rates and access to free financial resources. So experience more heart and less hassle by making the switch. Achieve more at ECU.com. Insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility is required.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, the time is almost here. Be sure to tap into the Tory Lowe Show Friday, May 2nd, as I'll be giving away $5,000 to one of our lucky Truth fans who were entered in to win the Gruber Law Office's $5,000 giveaway. Again, that's Friday, May 2nd, when we'll be giving away $5,000 to one of our lucky Truth fans between 1 and 4 right here on the Tory Lowe Show. Remember, you have to be tapped into the show in order to be our next Gruber Law Office $5,000 winner right here on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion, or your first big lightning strike, There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
For general contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's funny. Lucretia say it was actually the song before Don't Want to Fall in Love. I'm asking now, but I didn't want to disturb you, the flow of your show. You got to ask the question, otherwise I can't answer it. Go on and disturb the flow. I'm sorry it took me back to my high school years. I feel you. I feels you. Lots of songs do that. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. The analysis is coming up next. You can check him out for 2 hours, and then we'll have the Tori Lowe Show, and we'll be on with the rebroadcast until 7 a.m. You can check out Gary Noni and Benjamin. Make sure you lock it in right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. God bless. Take care. Hey, Zach, appreciate you. Have a great one.
Be quiet.
I'm out.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee Black Talk.